Hi everyone, it's really lovely to meet you all. My name's Amy. I am an online business manager and I service multiple 6-figure and 7-figure business owners. I help them grow and scale with ease whilst increasing their freedom, all through systems, support, strategy. And today I'm coming on to talk to you about messaging. So it's taken me ages to figure out what my message is, and I really don't know why. It's just taken me such a long time. And when I actually decided to own what my message was, it was like the most obvious thing that my message should have been. So you always see people in online marketing especially talking about your messaging, you have to have your message clear, you have to have your core values, your mission. That's what people connect to, that's what people relate to. And I was just kind of like, oh, what is mine? I'm not really sure what it is, I don't know how to get there. So I'm here today to talk to you A, about my message, but B, also how to find out your message. So I found out what my message was because it's like the thing I always talk about. Well, not quite always, but if you're ever kind of in a social situation with friends over drinks, over dinner, and you always talk about the same topics, you always kind of if someone has an opinion or wants your opinion on something, you always kind of go back with the same kind of slant on that opinion. An example would be is I have a friend who loves kind of urban spaces design, buildings, and how public space is used for people, and that's so interesting. So whenever we meet up for coffee or for dinner, for chat, she always talks about urban spaces, about inclusive spaces, about how cities are built around kind of people, and it's really interesting to listen to her talk about it because it kind of interests me a little bit too, but that's obviously what she's passionate about. And to the point where I can recommend TV shows she'll like, I recommend books she'll like, I can be, oh my god, that's so you. And I was like, oh my god, that's what my message should be. My message needs to be what I always talk about. And what I always talk about is women and women's rights and feminism and equality, and how I don't believe that in the current corporate environment there are enough women CEOs or women at C-suite level execs, how companies and the corporate world is not set up for women to having children. There's definitely a ceiling for women, and we just face all these challenges. And it's kind of the thing I always talk about, to the point where maybe some of my colleagues in my corporate roles would be like, here she goes again, talking about feminism, talking about women's rights, talking about equality in the workplace. But actually that's my message. My message is I want to empower women into starting their own businesses and becoming the CEOs they desperately want to be. I want to talk about feminism and feminine and masculine energy, and how that, feminine energy is positive in business, and how you don't always have to have this kind of dead set strategy focus, no kind of intuition, no feminine flair, no gut feelings, no vulnerability, emotion. My message is that's how I think business should be done. I think business should be done through also incorporating a lot of feminine energy, incorporating women into higher places, allowing those qualities to come through business, because in the end, that's how I believe businesses are going to grow to be even more successful than they are, is incorporating all these things that I think are currently missing, and I want to tell women that they can break the glass ceiling, they can become the CEOs, they can earn money that they think is right for them, they can have kids and have a business and have a career, and that you don't just have to do, a child-related business. If you want to, that's great. But, kind of when I was leaving my corporate roles, it was, when you become a mum, there's not many jobs you can do, and you probably want to work part-time in your corporate job to keep one foot in the door, so that, when you do come back full-time, you're not starting from square one again. And it's just no, we are in a different modern age now. We are the age of the internet. We are the age of starting businesses. We're the age of women doing whatever we want to do. And I wasn't going to be conformed by that, or felt like I had to conform to that. So yes, my message is women can become the CEOs they want to be, that there's a better way to do business than it's currently being done, and that is by including some of those feminine energies like vulnerability, sensitivity, intuition, gut feeling. All of those things are great, and actually will benefit businesses in the long run. And this is where companies are failing at the moment. You know, kind of we're told, you know, don't be sensitive, don't be oversensitive, don't show vulnerability, don't show weakness. Like, you need to be the strong person in the workplace. And really, you know, that's not the way things are done, in my eyes anyway. So that's my message. But it was staring at me in the face the whole time, and I wasn't actually thinking about it that way. I was just thinking like, I'm the girl that rocked up to work on Dress Down Fridays with a feminist t-shirt on and, you know, always kind of talks about women's rights, but I was just missing that from my messaging. So my advice would be, think about the things that you always talk about to your friends, to your family, or the things that bother you in the world, or the things you find yourself ranting about to your partner or your friends or anybody really, and say, that's your message. Own it and just love it. I have recently updated the copy of my website to include what my message is. I asked for some feedback from some of the communities I'm part of, and everyone was like, I love your mission and values. Okay, and it's not going to be for everybody, but that's okay, because not everybody will agree with everything you ever do. But just think about your message as what you always talk about, day in, day out, and how you can incorporate that into your business. So good luck. Let me know how you get on with that. And yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.